What's up YouTube, Cap over here, and welcome to the 6th week of the Little Cup Champions League as we are taking on Diggy, coach of the Chicago Cubchoos. And we're gonna try our best on this one. We're having a really awesome run. We're still unbeaten, as surprising as that is. And we'll just get this match on its way, but before we do, be sure to smash the like button, like, subscribe, all that jazz below, and we're just gonna get started. I'm gonna lead off with Starbucks, as he's gonna just lead off with his bloop, aka Surskit, there we go. And he ends up setting up the rain, and I'm like, oh snap, this is not good. I'm gonna set up my Toxic Spikes because Toxic Spikes actually wrecks his team. There's nothing that can absorb those Toxic Spikes or get rid of it. And I'm just gonna go into Foxhound because I want to get rid of this rain. That rain is a scary thing, and I just want to get rid of it. I really want to get rid of it. And he ends up setting up his rain once again, and I'm like, oh snap, I outspeed this thing. But what do you know, bingo bango whammo, bloop has taken down Foxhound, and this thing ends up getting Swift Swim. So a little bonehead play on my end, but hey, that happens. What can you do? And I end up simply getting frozen in this turn, and I'm like, oh snap, I should have just gone for the extreme speed. I have extreme speed. I could avoid this, but I end up thawing out, which is nice. That worked out on my favor, but I took a lot of damage that I shouldn't have, and I end up losing Gas Power Stick to Bloop. So a decent amount of misplays on my end, but hey, what can you do? What can you do? Vision's 50-50. I still think I have a good shot of winning this battle, but my team is getting incredibly slow, and I'm not doing that well. I'm not doing that well, and the rain is against me. But luckily for me, I have Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt will simply one-shot this thing thanks to a crit. So that worked in my favor. We're back at 2-on-2. I lost my berry, and we're not that bad considering the start that we had. Batista is gonna get poisoned thanks to the rain or the Toxic Spikes, and I can just simply send out Starbucks. That's no problem for me. Starbucks can easily eat up any of these hits, as Batista is gonna take a lot of residual damage. Like, oh man, that is a decent amount of residual damage. I thought he was gonna switch out, so I just went for the Flamethrower. I think Flamethrower is the only attacking move that I have on this thing, and he ends up getting a crit on my Starbucks, and of course Dynamic Punch will get me confused, so that sort of sucked. That sucked a decent amount, but at this moment I'm just like, you know what, Starbucks, do something. I end up getting the pain split off because I legitimately thought he was just gonna switch out, and he ends up not switching out. So I lose Starbucks to this Mon, and we're tied 3-3, which is not bad considering the start that I've had. It's not bad. So I end up going into Aang, my beast over here, and I do end up taking up the Zen Headbutt. But what do you know, I get flinched as I did go for a Drain Punch. That would have done a decent amount of damage on my Chemical Romance, and Aang will actually go down to the Zen Headbutt. I was hoping that maybe this thing would miss because of Hustle, but what do you know, this man prepped for the miss. He knew how big the misses were last time, and he ended up putting like a zoom scope or something to make sure his accuracy is a bit higher. So my next plan was, hey, let's just go into Spritzy and take this thing down because I can still win. But what do you know, I get flinched once more, and I'm like, well, snap. I think that pretty much takes out any chances that I have of possibly winning. Possibly. So far we're not looking that shabby. We're not looking good at all, as this Mon is taking out one Mon at a time from us, and I'm like, Skipper, you're our final hope over here. You have to take out everything that is the Scrafty, because I can beat my Chemical Romance as long as I get a Sword Stance up and do a decent amount of damage on the next Mon. So it all comes down to, is he gonna miss a Rock Blast? Is he gonna do something weird? And can he miss one of these attacks? Because he's hitting every single Outrage, and so far he's confused. So all I have to do is make sure I keep on setting up a substitute, and that I can possibly start setting up against someone. But he breaks through, and He goes for the Ice Fang, showcasing the moves that he has, and I'm like, well, don't be a show off. Don't be a show off. So I have one more chance to set up another sub. And he ends up breaking through once more, as I'm like, well, I think that's GG. I really put a good effort out there, but what do you know? Those flinches were a thing, and I felt like it was coming back at me. I felt like it was coming back at me just because I did get pretty lucky in the first couple of weeks of the Little Cup. So that's all right. It's not bad. It's not bad to get that. And what do you know? A skipper that is a plus, not even +1. It's just fully offensive. Actually does a decent amount of damage to this thing. So we will lose our first match of the season. And it's a large part in thanks to hacks, but at the same time, I felt like it was coming back at me, and I rather would have hacks this part of the season than, you know, later down the road when it mattered. So no hard feelings on that. What do you know? Pokemon's Pokemon, and sometimes we just get hacks, and there's nothing to be salty about. And yeah, I felt like my first loss was coming eventually in the season. We were having way too good of a season, and yeah, we'll just take from what we can from this battle, and we'll just move on to the next one. So if you guys enjoyed this battle, be sure to smash that like button. If you guys want to see more Little Cup action, I'm going to be providing that more and more as we go into the season, and we'll keep on chasing for that playoff hunt or a possible berth into the finals. So thanks for watching. This is Cap, signing off.